Hi there, this is Dan from onlinebasscourses.com. Hope you're doing really well. In this video I'm going to show you a 4-step process to making up bass riffs. So creativity can come from an infinite number of places, and there are way more than 4 things to make up a bass riff. There are loads of other things, but what I want to do is just show you this, give you a little bit of a framework to start making up riffs, and hopefully that will act as a springboard for your own ideas. So what we're going to do is we're going to think about a rhythm, a number of bars or measures, a style of music, and what scale we're going to use. Those are the 4 things we're going to think about. Those are the lenses we're going to look through to create a riff. So let's get cracking. What I'm going to do is make things up as we go using this. So you're going to see me almost writing riffs as we go. So there'll be plenty of mistakes and plenty of me forgetting things, but hopefully you'll get the idea. So I'm going to start off with the bass player's gift, the riff god's favorite scale, which is the minor pentatonic scale. So I'm going to do E minor pentatonic scale. I'm going to break out to go. Make sure you know it in lots of different patterns. So let's see. Let's start with something rock. So that's thinking about the rhythm and the style that I want. So I want rock. Let's go about that fast. And I think I'm going to pick a 2-bar, 2-measure thing. And let's have a go. Let's see what happens. Let's see what comes out with this. So I'm tapping my foot around about there. A good place to start is just to think of the rhythm that you're going to do. So in my head, this is my beat, but I'm going to go dun dun ba 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 ba. Kind of a rock funk thing. I love Flea's playing, so if it sounds a bit of a Chili Peppers ripoff, that's probably why. So through that framework, I've got my scale, I've got the rhythm, I've got the slight Flea ripoff thing going on there, and the fact that I want it to be 2 bars. Let's think of another thing. Let's maybe stick to that. Maybe simplify it a bit, but speed it up. I'm only using the first 3 notes, the E, G, and A of the scale now. That's my speed. Obviously, I'm writing this as we go, so in my head I can hear drum beats. Perhaps you can too. I can hear guitars going on. Let's try another. I'm going to go 1 bar now, about there. I want to use some hammer-ons. Bit more rocky this time. I'm attacking the strings a bit more in this direction to get a bit more of a harder attack. Dun, 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 dun. That's the rhythm I've got in my head. Now, as a bass player, when you're learning to train your ear, so to think, I like that minor pentatonic scale, that's the sound I want, you also can't neglect rhythm. Rhythm is really, really important. So when you're playing, for example, an E minor pentatonic scale, and you've picked a rhythm, you should have a massive bank of rhythms in your head that you can call upon. Different styles, different genres use different rhythms. So, I mean, if I thought now, bit more of a 16th note thing going on there. I've got my foot tapping, and I'm thinking, that's the feel I'm going for there. Let's switch things up a bit. So now I'm going to go G natural minor. Maybe I'm going to go a bit more funk, a bit more 70s funk. Maybe about that fast. I'm going to stick some octaves in there. Let's just think about the rhythm. Dun, da, da, da. Da, 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 da. What happens with that? That was technically a 4-bar riff. I just went... bit of blues scale in there. Now, as is the case, I'm going to forget what I did before and think of something else. You should really record yourself as you're going along with this, and listen back and see what you like the sound of. I'm just walking up the scale there with a little octave. Sticking to that rhythm I was thinking about. Not really thinking about a metronome or a drum beat or even staying in time. I'm just thinking about the riff here. So there I got my G natural minor scale and going about that fast, thinking funk, thinking maybe Bernard Edwards, something like that. And I suppose that brings me on to another point, which is that as a bass player, you really, really want, I think anyway, to listen as widely as you can, so that, especially if you want to be a session player, I do a lot of remote recording, and well, at the moment we're in lockdown, so it's only remote recording. Sometimes you're called to play something and you have to come up with it quite quickly. So to have a huge knowledge of different styles and different genres, what you'll see a lot of the time is the same old scales cropping up. It's amazing how many different and magical sounds have been made from, let's say, just the minor pentatonic scale, which is 5 notes. It's crazy, but with different rhythms, phrasing, ways of playing, tones, you can do that. So really listen as widely as you can, so you can call upon these ideas as you're going through this lens of your your rhythm, number of bars, style, and what scale you're going to use. Let's switch up styles a bit. I'm going to stay on the G, but I want to move to a more major thing here. So again, to keep it really simple, I'll probably just use major pentatonic kind of stuff. Something like that. I'm going to go from the 1 chord to the 4, so I'm just going to G to a C, and that's just a triad. But if I keep it on the same string, the root and the 3rd, I can do a slide. So really, really simple. Now, when you're doing YouTube videos and I'm making these things up on the spot, there's a temptation to overplay. But really, when you're thinking that you're going to do a session or you're in a band or whatever, you just coming up with riffs and parts that are simple is like a really good thing to do. So you might want to put your metronome on your drum beat or take it to band practice. I'm doing this in lockdown. If you're watching this in lockdown, there's no band practice. Let's finish with another one. I'm going to go that speed. Maybe I'm thinking Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes, that kind of a thing. I'm going to use a E Phrygian, E to E, using all the natural notes, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And yeah, lots of offbeat things. This might go wrong as I'm going. I might have to adapt it, but something like that, that'll work. If I've recorded that, which I have, this is a YouTube video, then I can go back, I can extract the part I like, and then maybe finesse it a little bit, and then add some instruments around it. That's why I was mentioning harmony, because then if you can go to Logic or whatever DAW you're using, and you can start to flesh this out a bit. But riffs are really, really great for bass players because they offer 2 to 4 bar hooks that you can use. Now, not every bass line is a riff, but this is a good springboard for many different styles of bass. So I hope some of that was useful to you and gave you some ideas for your own bass lines. If you have any questions whatsoever, then leave a comment below. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That really helps, and I'll see you on the next video.